A few months ago, I was sitting there in a pogo room, one of the solitaires, talking with a couple of Christian friends. One of them brought up that one of their relatives had just recently passed away. And of course, knowing she was a Christian, the first thing that came out of my mouth, well, out of my fingers, was he saved? It's a legitimate question, one that needs to be asked from time to time because it sort of puts everything in its true point of view. Fortunately, she said, yes, he was saved. But then someone else who was in that room and hadn't typed anything until then, put up a little laugh icon and said, saved. Saved from what? And I'm sitting there going, oh yes, that's the question I love to see. And so I just quickly typed out, well, saved from myself. To which he asked, what do you mean? I sit back, crack my knuckles, get set, because I have been looking for this opportunity. Deep. Hey Brian, have you read the book of Enoch? What happened here was someone just missed the opportunity. The book of Enoch is a wonderful book. It's actually out of the, what we call the Apocrypha. It has wonderful historical value. It's even mentioned in the book of Titus. But none of that mattered at that moment. We had someone there who wanted to know about Christ, and all this Christian wanted to talk about was the book of Enoch and all she had learned from it and all these nice little things. She missed the opportunity. When Peter and John healed this lame man at the gate, they had the opportunity. The crowd around all saw this man jumping, leaping. They all knew what was going on. Peter saw the opportunity to explain what was going on, and he seized the opportunity. He took the time to speak and to lay out exactly what the gospel was about. The first question for us is, when the opportunity comes along, how do we seize the opportunity? Second thing I'd like to look at in this section, we're actually looking at Acts chapter 3, verses 12 through 26 this week. And what we have here is a wonderful, wonderful gospel presentation. Now, after you read it, you will realize that this is something that was actually kind of enjoyable. It's like, around verse 17 it says, and now brothers, I know that you did it in ignorance, referring to the crucifixion, just as your leaders also did. He says, basically, guys, you're off the hook for killing Jesus. You goofed, but there's hope. Yes, you made a mistake, but you can still enjoy what's going on. Going around in school, there was campus preachers. There was a particular pair, and they all just came around going, repent! You're a sinner! You're horrible! You're the worst thing that's ever been! You need to repent! You're going to hell! If you don't change, you're gonna... Just saying that you're absolutely the worst people in the world. Now there is an example of a preacher preaching a similar message in the Bible. But you have to look at who it's referring to. If you look at John the Baptist, he said, venomous vipers, you brood of vipers, don't you know that the axe is coming down at you? Yeah, that's a little fire breathing. But look who he was talking to. Peter had a message of hope, and he wanted to make sure it was a message of hope. So the question for us is, how do we show people that they are sinners in need of Jesus without driving them away like some of these fire breathers do? Now, let's take a little bit of a look at exactly how the contrast between Peter in this case and John the Baptist before. When John the Baptist did say, you brood of vipers, he was talking to the Pharisees. He was talking to the learned people, the people who should know better. We have all come across people who should know better. They go to church, they read the Bible, they claim to be a Christian, but when you look at their lives, you look at their walks, they're nothing of the sort. Their mouths are always talking out. Hate is like, I don't like that group of people, I don't like this. And we're supposed to be showing love, and this is the message that Peter was getting across. So, with sort of comparing the two, with looking at Peter and John the Baptist in mind, how do we deal with American-type Christians, with the religious Christians. And by this one I mean the lowercase c, the ones who think that they're going, but are really in need of Jesus. There is a large group of people. This is the largest group of Christians, and perhaps the hardest group to reach with the good news. They need hope. They need Jesus. But they also need to know where they are without it. These are the questions we'll be dealing with this week. I'll see you on Saturday night.